Yes, it's maybe time to start. So, hello everybody, and welcome to Seidat webinar. Today, our topic is how to design visually attractive presentations. And then I noticed that my screen sharing has been done stupidly, so I will fix it. But anyway, my name is Paulus Perkkiö. I'm CEO and founder of Seidat. And I'm really happy to have opportunity to share this moment with you. And in the early beginning, before we jump to agenda, and at the same time when we are waiting for more people to join to this webinar, I can tell you that please follow us in our social media channels in LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. On those channels, we tell very quickly when something is coming, and that's why it's important that you start following us. Today we had a plan that I will have this webinar together with Joona, our COO, but Joona has COVID. So I'm alone here, and I really hope that I will survive today. But it's interesting challenge to have it alone now. I have all the time chat open, and I really like if we will get some interactivity together with you. So please ask and send some comments in chat channel. Evert is helping me there, so he has now, for example, sent those links to our social media channels. Today, what is our agenda? We will start with the topic, why do visualizations make our customers buy more? So idea to develop visually attractive presentation is to sell more. And then we go step by step. I will give you some ideas, tips and tricks how to create those visually appealing presentations. And then I will, in the end of this session, show you how you can do many of those tricks in Seidat, and how it can help you to save time in your daily life. Why I'm here on the stage? I'm CEO, but actually my background is in design. I'm industrial designer, and I have studied design quite a lot, and that's why I have been also working with developing presentations and visuality of them, and that's why I think that I can educational background which helps me to run this session. If I think something where I have seen some really nice presentations, I really recommend you to browse from internet, from YouTube, for example, this Steve Jobs presentation when they launched iPhone. It's old. It's really old presentation, but still, I think it's really good sales presentation. It's done very nicely and simply way, and that's why I really recommend to watch that if you haven't done it already. Today's topic is visually attractive presentations, and presentations generally speaking, they are really important when we are going to sales world and the segment where we are working mostly. For example, if you think about how to develop your sales results, I would say that there are many ways to do that. You can use CRM tools or whatever tools which help you to get better and more effective back office work. But if you go to this frontline work where you interact with your customer, I really say that presentations play big role in that interaction game with your customers. And if whenever you are interacting with your customers, then you have good opportunity to raise up your sales results. There are also many challenges if we think about presentations typically. These are comments what we get from our customers. Typically, they think that one big challenge is fragmented materials, low quality, slow or no development at all of those materials. We are working quite a lot with salespeople, and they say that they don't have exact sales concept, and this is a big problem. And they are missing collaboration between the whole sales team or collaboration between sales and marketing. And if you have this kind of big problems and you still think that presentations are play big part in sales and they are good way to develop your sales results, then how should you develop and what is the ideal presentation? We think that great sales deck, it's a presentation which gives some kind of wow effect to your customer. It's also supporting the presenter. It's typically, if we are discussing about sales, then it's sales guy. In training, it's a trainer and so on. Great slide deck also means that it allows interaction. And if we think about these topics, gives wow effect, supports the presenter, and allows interaction, I would say that this wow effect is mostly the part which is some way detected to visuality and visual attraction. But then, what is your opinion? Why visual presentations are selling more? Why this visual attractiveness is important? If you have any comments, please send to chat, because this is a really interesting topic, I would say. And I start from understanding point of view. Because based on researches, if you have some content which support your speech visually, it means that your audience are more likely to understand what you are telling about. And whenever they understand better what you are telling about, then it's easier for them, for example, to make decisions to buy something from you. And this kind of understanding, I have read many researches, and this is some researches says that if you are only speaking, the receiver, for example, buyer, will understand only 10% of what you have tried to tell. If you can use some extra material, for example, presentation with bullet points, and those bullet points tells they are written some text there, then the understanding grows really to the second level. It's double amount of understanding there. But if you can use some visual content like this kind of visualization, it means that people, generally speaking, will understand 80% what you are trying to tell. So from 10 to 80%, it's 8 times more. There are other researches where they tell that visual material will make 400% better learning results. There are many other researches which tells same kind of story. They have a little bit different kind of they are different researches, they are researching different topics, but results are same kind of, and it's not important if the percentage is 10 or 20 or 12, but if they are going to same direction, it means that visual content helps your customers to understand what you are trying to tell, and if they understand, then it's easier to buy. CAV people, they says here in chat that great visuals build great trust and packages the whole idea which you are selling in easy editable form. Well said. Visual materials sell more. We were discussing about the wow factor. If, for example, in this slide, I have added one kind of easy animation behind as a background. There are Nordic lights and they are blinking a little bit. And this is only one way to do something, but my message is to do that. Please try to do things differently. If you do design different kind of slides which your competitor, for example, has, then it's easier to get this wow factor working. One way is, for example, using three-dimensional images or 360 images, which you can rotate in your presentation. It can be one way to create wow factor. If you are selling cars or buildings or something that kind of three-dimensional, it's easy to use this kind of easy ways to make that wow happen. Visual things are also helping interaction. So if you have, for example, this kind of visualization of sales process, how it goes step by step from lead generation until the end of signing the contract, it's easy to discuss together how everything happens when we have this visualization. It makes visualization is easy way to simplify very complex processes, for example, so that it's easy to understand. And this kind of visualization has helped me, for example, quite a lot in sales to tell our customers how they could use Seidat effectively during the whole sales process. But yes, this kind of visualizations, use them as much as possible, because then it's easier to get this kind of interactive discussion with customer. If you try to write everything, if I write everything what is inside this slide, it means that I should write at least one A4 fully. And if I try to present that document to my customer and have a short discussion at the same time, how this thing is, how Seidat can be used in separate steps during the sales process, it's not possible. But when I have this simple visualization, it's easy to discuss, okay, how your sales process is going, how do you generate leads, how do you contact your customers, how do you drive your first meeting, and what do you do after that? Are you sending some materials? And then how do you close the deal? Do you create a proposal as a, is it paper version or digital, or is it PDF or presentation, or what kind of proposals you are using? And then how do you sign the agreement with your customers? The whole process is easy to go through and discuss together how everything works. If we agree that visuality is important to get better sales results, then it's interesting to understand what are important things if you want to make visually attractive presentations. I will start with very basic details. Colors. I think it's very important that you use professional designers to design the color palette which you are using in your presentations. And when it has been designed, then please use it on every slide during the whole presentation. And use it in all kind of graphic elements, like using this kind of boxes, using in fonts like we are using, because if you use those colors everywhere, you will get better quality feeling from the service or product what you are selling. And those colors, if you have a good tool which you use for presentation, like Seidat, then you can set up this color palette to that tool, and it's easy to use every time exactly right colors. So it's quick to design new slides, which is taking very often too much time if you try to find those right colors. But if you have tool which supports you to use those exactly right colors, then please use it. I have added here also accessibility line, because it reminds me that in European Union there are some guidelines for accessibility, and we are going step by step towards that. And at the moment, governments and that kind of organizations are under those guidelines. They must allow them, and they are coming also to presentations. They have started from websites, but this accessibility question is really important also in presentations. And this kind of contrasts are very big part of that. And if you think about how to use then your colors and images, then please do not use anywhere text like this, so that you have light and dark image at the same time, and you try to put over that one color text, light like text, and no one can see it, and it's very hard to read. But if you have a bigger contrast, so that you put, for example, this kind of light filter over the image and then use dark colored text, it's much easier to see and read. And if you can read, you can understand. Once again, same thing. About fonts, it's really important to use nice looking fonts. It's also like colors. Choose right fonts for your presentations, and then you can easily get visually attractive material. If you make a wrong decision, you are using Arial, Verdana, and those Comic Sans and those, I don't like stupid fonts, then you can't do good looking presentations. So start from those very basic things, colors, fonts, and then comes photos. I have added here some of the photos which we are using in Seidat. In our image bank, you can find this kind of images in our own marketing material. But we have chosen those images because, for example, these images are chosen because there's enough space around the main image, which is maybe the person. And if you have enough space there, it's easy to use those in all kind of marketing purposes, like and presentations. Also, this kind of light slides, they are quite easy. You can use dark text over them, and it's working quite well. I have added here some image banks like Shutterstock. We are using it quite a lot. Then Pexel and Unsplash, they are free ones. Flat icon is really good for finding icons. Like here we have many icons. They are not from Pexels, but we have designed them ourselves. But icons can be, it's very easy to find them from Flat Icon. And Storyblocks is easy place to get some short videos which you can use in presentations, for example. Layout is also very important and basic part of the presentation. I really recommend to use some kind of design system for layouts. I mean that, for example, this slide, which I have divided from the center, exactly same size from left side and right side. It's easy to make it good looking if you make slides this way. Other good proposals are like 1 to 2, 1 to 4. It can be horizontal or vertical, 1 to 2 to 1. This kind of easy systems, you can have some of those. It doesn't mean that you should use everywhere exactly this way, but the less you have different systems, then more unified feeling your customers will have. And when you think about the layout, you can start, for example, from the image. If you select at first good looking image, which is done based on of those proportions. For example, here you can see that at this part of the image is nearly half of the width, and this is 1/4, and here same kind of thing, and this woman is here in the middle, And if you start building the slide from this kind of nice looking image, it's very easy to add, for example, there a little bit text, use maybe a couple of colors there. And I think, for example, this slide is now quite good looking. It's visually attractive and it's easy to understand what I have tried to say here. Layout is important part of the slide design, and small changes can make a winning difference. For example, if I try to change this text to some other part of this slide, it's not anymore that nice. I have put this text here because it's on the same line of this wooden, I don't know exactly what is it in English, wooden stick. It's not stick, but something, wooden part of this construction. And using this kind of easy lines with all kind of this kind of design layouts, then it's easy to make good looking stuff. If you every time try to fill your slide fully with text and images, and you don't have anywhere this kind of free space which we have here, it's not that easy to make good looking slides. So I really recommend that use more slides. There are many stupid recommendations that you should not use more than 3 or 5 or 10 or whatever slides. Please do not listen, because the amount of slides is not important ever. The more important is that you have slides which your audience can understand and which helps you to tell the story which you are trying to tell. So that's why I really recommend take away too much information and keep it simple and use those right proposals in your layout. One way also to make visually attractive content is also to use different kind of content options. Please do not use only images and texts. You can use videos, you can embed websites to your presentations, for example, and it gives you more interesting wow effect options. You can embed, for example, calculators to your presentations. It's visually attractive to show something that, okay, this is working that way, and then you can immediately get ROI of the investment which you are trying to sell. You can also embed calendars to your presentations, and whenever you embed calendar, it's visual thing. It's visually easy to see that, okay, on Thursday I could book a meeting with Paulus. Or chatbots are a good example also. It's visually interesting way to interact with customer, and then there was a Finnish speaking dialogue how to continue when after something has happened. How to make everything in reality. Those were the basic things, but I have here 2 examples. This is one stupid cover slide in a presentation about Seidat. I have now only background color and logo. If I add some nice looking background image there, the feeling is totally different. this you get immediately some kind of winter and maybe Nordic feeling. But is it helping to sell Seidat presentations? Good question, I think. If I change the background image to this woman who is presenting something in meeting room, I think that the understanding where you could use this, where we are discussing about, is more clear. And then I have added also title, presentation solution. I can change the title to make every meeting a success. It's telling about presentation solution, but it's a totally different story. Now I have a cover page for a presentation. This was my first attempt, but I developed it step by step to this solution. And I really say, my opinion is that this is so much better because there is an image which tells about my product which I'm selling to get better meetings. I have a title here which tells make every meeting a success. It sounds good. I really want to have that. And this is one way to make visually attractive content. Other situation can be inside the presentation. For example, developing presentation decks, there are 3 bullet points. Adding only a image behind the slide about developing tells a little bit more. But maybe, for example, in this situation, I think that the woman is a little bit, I would not say the angry, but she's not at least happy. And the text was about developing presentation decks. It could be something what we are selling. But if we tell to our customer that we are partner for presentations, we are developing new slide decks and so on, I really think that this is much better version of the slide. And it would be even better if I make it this way, so that I have 3 parts here: new slide deck, best practices, presentation support, and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to now try to sell you, but this is the way how I would design and develop this kind of slides. Easy way to make them a little bit more visually attractive. It's a really good time to send some questions in chat if you have any, or comments. So I really try to answer if you have anything to ask. Yes, we have been thinking about how to make those visually attractive content, and one really important thing which I really recommend is simplicity. Cut away everything what is not needed on this slide. For example, this slide, I think it's communicating quite well the idea of simplicity. I have here a diamond which tells that, okay, it's sign of some quality. You will get better quality when you have simple slide. Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. I have only some nice looking background. It's like a old wall or something like that. And then text over it and one icon. And I think it tells you that visual way that simplicity is important. Also, I think it's very important that you try to keep same user experience during all of the slides which you are designing. So you must have same kind of design. For example, if I check my sales deck, this is overview from my sales deck, and you can see that there are many kind of slides, many kind of photos, icons, and so on. But I really think that there is some kind of visual identity behind those slides. It's good discussion topic, good how much better the quality visual identity could be. It can be better, but it's on the level where we can see that all slides are using same kind of font, same kind of colors. The color theme is going from left to right, up to down. There are same kind of colors used. And it's easy to understand that they belongs to same presentation. They are not collected from this material and that material and put together. And how to make that happen is using templates. If you start using Seidat, for example, you will get immediately this kind of templates. And it's easy to select, for example, cover pages, one contact page, this kind of slide, this kind of slide, and some map and charts and some organizational structure. If you use those slides to those presentations where you need this kind of slides, it's easy to make them to keep the visual identity unified and keep the same quality everywhere. It's also whenever you develop those presentations, it's important that you concentrate well to the structure, how you structurize your presentation. In Seidat you can do it in this matrix way, so that you have here like a elevator pitch level, and then you can go deeper whenever you need. And it helps you also, this matrix, when you are presenting and you have this presenter view where you can select the slides easily to your presentation. But this unity in design, I think it's really important, and it comes from those basic things. It comes from colors, it comes from fonts, it comes from images, and it comes from layouts. So whenever you start developing presentations, visually attractive content, keep in mind colors, fonts, layouts, and images. It's easy, but of course, this how to utilize those principles in those real design situations. It's not that easy in every case. I must also add here that, for example, this is how presentations are developed in your organization, for example, it's not helping us to keep one brand identity, and it's not helping us to keep the user experience on same level in every presentation, in every slide, because it's very typical that in every organization there are marketing team who is doing part of the presentation creation. Then there is product managers, service managers who are creating one part of those presentations. Then comes sales development people and sales people. And if they build those presentations, it happens that maybe marketing team is developing those templates. Then comes product team who are developing the technical part of the product offer. Then business verticals are developing some argumentation based on the business segment where they are selling, for example, to industry or construction business or wherever they are selling. And then come salespeople who make some customer-specific development. But when the reality is this, that there are these kind of parts of the organization who are developing those presentations, and you try to make them visually attractive, it's really important that you are using platforms which support you to keep every time the color palette on the right level, help you to use everywhere right fonts and photos. How we will do that in Seidat? I have created one demonstration for you, and it starts whenever you create a Seidat team, you will see this kind of place dashboard where you can see those presentations. I will add here some tags just for fun, and then I can see if those presentation has been tagged. Okay, some of them has been tagged here. And if I now think that, okay, I want to change my visual identity a little bit. And I have here several presentations now. If I go in, I see, okay, they are this kind of presentations. Then I go to to my smart slide bank, and here I can see, okay, there are many kind of slides, and yes, there are many. I really want to, for example, change this background image. I have many ways to do it. I can do it this way, that I select the slide and go and add another background image there, like this way, and then change maybe the text style. And it's working quite well. What is the result? Is that I changed only one presentation. Then I have one other option that I can't now remember, but maybe I start from here. I have used a smart slide, and I changed this smart slide image, cover image, and I add this here. And what happens if we wait a little bit? Yes, there were 4 presentations changed immediately by one click. And then I have a third option how I can make this kind of update in presentation, I go to image bank, and I don't anymore want to use this slide, and I will make it so that I replace it with this one, for example, or maybe this one. Yes, I will do it that way. So I change it to this one, replace all, and what has happened? Everywhere where I had this previous cover image, those presentations has been changed. Also, maybe there was places where that image was used inside the presentation, and those presentation has been also changed. Same way, if I think that, okay, this black title is really boring, I can go there and add, I think that this is something very stupid and crazy, but I still do it. I will add this green color to my color palette, and then I change this font style to green one. And what has happened there? What will happen if I remember right? I'm sorry, I used wrong title, but then I go back to here and see, change it again. And some demo effect comes immediately. It didn't save it because something, I don't know why. Now it works. So it should change all those slides step by step this way. So if you think that you need to develop, keep your brand identity everywhere so that you have same visual identity on every presentation, on every slide, I really recommend to use this kind of tools where you have content management system, brand identity management, which helps you to update all the presentations by one click. This is also an amazing tool when you, for example, update your logo and you want to change it to everywhere. You go to image bank and make that change once, and it will happen everywhere. And yes, those are basic concepts which we are using in Seidat to develop those and keep the visual identity unified. What is Seidat all about? We have been discussing and quite a lot about the visually attractive presentations. What is our tool in reality? Seidat is a sales platform, sales presentation platform, where you can create those presentations. You can use this platform for presenting them, sharing to your customers, to your colleagues, analyzing how they are using those presentations, which slides they used most, how much time they spent there, and so on. If you are using Seidat also for proposals, then you can have e-signatures, so sign immediately inside the Seidat, and that's the easy way to accept proposals and convert them to contracts, agreements. And this is place where you can collaborate with your team members, because all the content which you are using is in one place, in one cloud, and it's easy to mix that content in different kind of situations. You have there 24/7 access, because you can use this with your laptop, with your tablets, mobile devices. So it's everywhere. It's always in your pocket, those presentations. And we get quite a lot good feedback from our customers that they are developing their presentations in train when they are going to one customer to other place or whatever. This is also an amazing tool for online presentations, because now I can share, for example, this presentation to you, and you can browse it even without screen share. I share the link in chat. So when I'm changing the slides, you will see what's happening, and it's an amazing tool. For example, I have used this several times with my mobile device. By one device, I can use my mobile device to move my voice, and then I use browser to send the slides to my customer. I'm sorry, I selected the Finnish version here, but you can easily see that there is a presenter view where I can see the whole presentation and select the slides, and when I change the slide, the customer will see it this way. There is also note fields, which I'm, for example, now using in my presentation. So I have notes here for myself. For example, I remember that I wrote something here. So why visual more sales, understanding visuality means something, and it's easy way to use that, because this is on my other screen, and then I can read those and select slides here. And then I have also meeting notes. So this is recording what I have been presenting to you. In this kind of webinar situation, it's not that much needed feature, but when I'm selling to someone something, it's really important that I will get that information to my CRM, which I can share to my colleagues that, okay, I have used this and that features. And if I'm using Pipedrive as a CRM tool, this information is going to Pipedrive deals automatically when you are presenting the presentation. It's also important that Seidat is integrating directly to your sales and marketing ecosystem. So to social media channels, for example, remarketing pixels can be installed to presentations. Analytics tools like Google Analytics, Lead Feeder, and so on can be integrated to Seidat. All your CRM tools can be integrated, so you can create automatically content based on the information in your CRM system. And there are many content options like Lido chatbots, TrustMary, queries, and that kind of results from customer recommendations can be shared directly to presentation, and so on. So it's interesting tool. And that's all about Seidat. And this has been interesting webinar to share with you. Our next English webinar will be about modern B2B sales. I will have it together with Jani Ojala from NBO New Business Office, and here you can see also all our previous webinars, and you can download the recording from this Seidat Academy. So there are many blog posts and webinars, and there are also interesting guides about sales concepts and presentations and virtual sales. So please go to our Sales Academy, and if you are interested about modern B2B sales, we will have a webinar about that topic coming in 2 weeks about. If I remember right, it's 10th of November in English. There is a version of that also in Finnish, so if there is Finnish-speaking people online, then I really recommend you to check the Finnish version of that webinar. And of course, please follow us in social media, in LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Those are the major channels, and all webinar recordings are available also on our YouTube channel. Thank you. And I really hope that you develop better presentations to your team. And if you are not able to do it yourself, then you can buy presentation design services from our team. We have really talented designers for presentations, and the quality is really high. So I really warmly recommend that people. So please contact me or anyone from our sales team. From our website, you can find, for example, Teams calendar, and please contact him and book a meeting. Thank you, everybody. It was really nice to share this information with you, and I really hope very successful autumn time and waiting for winter. I really like that yesterday we had -degrees in Helsinki area, and it's nearly quite soon time to ski. Thank you and bye.